It's November 19th. Everybody knows that? Okay, outstanding. We're here. Everybody's got their phone muted. If you need to take a call, please step outside. If you need to speak, please say your name so the folks at home know who is speaking. Well, if you're not loud, like me, sit by the microphone, we'll repeat your question, just so the folks at home. We have quite a few on Zoom today, so. Welcome, new members. I don't see any of our new members in the house today, although Robert Hoffman is here. He's not a new member. This is his second time here, but welcome back, Robert. Russ, we have any on Zoom?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, just to reiterate, we do have several new members here. 3 of these new members were recruited at our train show last weekend. Chris Hansen, Paul Hansen, father and son duo, and Robert Wills. So we want to thank Gary Dean and his son Tyler Dean for their efforts at the show on recruitment. Minutes from the last meeting were posted online. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Second. Who was
Stan and Rick Weir.
who now?
Stan White
Okay, Stan.
made the motion and Rick seconded it. Rick has gotten better. Well, he was a little slow last meeting, but this meeting he's practiced.
Saw a lot of hands and stuff go up.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure who was quick.
He spoke, so I recognized him. Good job, Rick. Treasurer's report. Oops. Mike Berry. Oh. Mike's not here. I have the treasurer's report. Mike couldn't join us today. He had something came up, family matter he needed to attend to. It's not a bad matter. It's a family get together that came up last minute he needed to attend to. So we'll miss Mike. He's due to give a couple of reports today, so I'll take over for him, starting off with the treasurer's report for November 19th. Expenses. We had some expenses because we had a train show. We had various train show marketing. Any questions about the treasurer's report? I know a little bit about it. Can I answer anything?
Motion approved. So moved. Second.
Second from Bob Johnson. Thank you, Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? What?
Said no. Motion carries.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, committee reports. Member welfare. Mike? Mike. Okay, I'll do this too. This top one here, this is a tough one. John Stoltz passed away, if you didn't know. He was our contest winner, and when was it, Fred? 2019? 2019. He was the Charlie Keating contest winner. Great guy. And also Bob White, Robin's father, passed away, and Herman Steelberg, Ron Steelberg's father, passed away. And we had a couple of members in the hospital. Tom Gunther survived the hospital experience, however, and is here today. He's still hungry. All he had to eat was pudding and Jell-O, of course, but he made it through and is here today. And Mr. Johnson also spent how many days, Bob?
3 nights.
3 nights, 3 restless nights. But again,
And then they gave me some more stuff. Office. Monday, Tuesday.
okay,
Um,
you're pretty good.
call over time.
All right, good to hear, Bob. So we're sorry for these losses, but we're happy that our members who had some hospital visits are on the mend. Thanks, Mike. Mark Norman is in the room today, but we don't have a report from Mark, but we put the slide here just to remind folks that the AP program is active, right, Mark?
Absolutely.
And-
People want to have things looked at.
And Mark is here, and he has a team of experts assisting him if you need help with AP. Contact Mark, and he will facilitate your efforts. Rick Maloney is not here, but he can tell you if he was here. All you have to do is complete the paperwork, and you're all set. Monthly modeling contest is next. Barry hasn't arrived yet, but he's on his way. But Robin is here to help Barry out and talk about the contest this month. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you. All right, so this month it was displays. There were 4 entries. So first of all, an honorable mention to Bob Francrone for his old-time freight station. And third place went to Stan White for Summer Morning in Smallville. Second place to Ed Brennan for November 2022 Diorama. And Rick Geertz, if you are here, come on down. First place for Hooterville Restaurant Row. And a reminder that December's contest is highway vehicles. Thank you.
A note about the December contest. You will get a reminder to enter your contest entry, which starts on December 5th is the first day to submit contest entries. Because we don't have a meeting, and the contest is going to run after the Christmas party, we will make a presentation of the winner of highway vehicles online during December, and then we'll also recognize that person at the meeting in January. But we will announce the winner of the contest the third Saturday in December, as we always do. That's the 17th, I believe, around in there. Anyway, the third Saturday in December, we'll announce the contest winner for highway vehicles. So get your vehicles ready. Everybody get out the crying towels, because this is our last meeting at the 600 room. They've been good to us, and I do want to take a moment and thank Mr. Stan White, who rescued us before Stan was able to get this room for us. We were meeting in the back room of a shady bar over on the other side of town. Wasn't the best. I mean, the room was fine. It was just the drunks wandering through, interrupting the meeting from time to time. So thank you, Stan. This was a
You mean the members?
much improved experience. Excuse me?
So do you mean the members wandering through?
No, could have been, but fortunately it wasn't. So we are moving to, starting in January, the Jeffersontown Public Library. We will get a map up on the timetable so you can find your way there if you're not familiar with it. Not that far from here. And it's a nice facility. When you see these front doors here, when you walk right in the front doors, of course, there's an ante room. And immediately inside the second set of doors to your left is the meeting room. So it's easy to get to. Keep in mind when you do enter the library, it is the library. You don't want to get yelled at by the librarian. So tone it down when you enter the room and come into the room, and then you can make all the racket that you want. Russ Weiss is going to speak on what's coming up here for programs and meetings.
Thanks, Ron. Today, we're pleased to have Stephen Priest with us. You may remember that a couple of months ago that Fred over at the National Convention in St. Louis took a few minutes to talk to Stephen with his new company. And so today we're going to have a lot more time that he'll be able to tell us what's coming up. And we can ask a bunch of questions of him. And probably mine's going to be, when we're going to have the press flats coming. So more on Stephen in just a little bit. Next. So, things that are getting better in the world, that our Bob Frank Rowan has graciously invited us after the meeting today to his home to see his layout, which we haven't seen in a number of years. So there are a few do's and don'ts. No parking on his driveway, and enter through the front door. So tuck those away, because the no parking will not be written on his driveway like in the picture. So so thanks Bob, for doing that. And hopefully if everybody feels comfortable, maybe after the holidays, that if you'd like to start this up again, that would be great. Okay, next. So 2 weeks from today is our annual Christmas party. And I've been told that we have sold every one of the seats that were available, but there were 2 seats that we had some cancellations. So there are 2 tickets available. So you need to let Ron or Mike know about that toot sweet. There is a waiting, or after that, there will be a waiting list. And if there are any more cancellations, that you will be notified about that. So tuck that away. And the people that have had tickets, I hope you have it on your calendar. 2 weeks from today, gather at 4:30, and we'll start all the good eating at 5:30.
Let me just clarify quickly, Russ.
Yeah.
If you're interested in one of these 2 tickets, what you need to do is go online
I'm sorry.
and click on buy tickets. And then it'll tell you that tickets are all sold and offered to put you on the waiting list. Later today, the tickets will become available again after we process the refund for the member that can't make it. And we will be sending out, probably towards the end of next week, a reminder for those that have reserved a place at the table, just so you remember that you're expected. And if your plans have changed, let us know and we'll deal with it on a one-on-one basis. But if you want one of those 2 tickets, don't contact Ron or Mike unless you have trouble, and then contact us and we'd be happy to help you. But you should be able to just get on the waiting list if you're in the audience today, you want to attend and didn't previously buy a ticket. Okay, Ross.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. Okay, so next month we're bringing back the bull session. This ought to be interesting because that weekend, Saturday and Sunday, is the great train show out at the fairgrounds, and part of your Division 8 crew will be there. So we're going to try to do the session from there, and I'll be anchoring the Zoom portion from my end here. So that should be fun, and no doubt that if Fred's going to be there, he'll probably have a quick run around the facility and see what's going on. So so put that on your calendar for the 10th bull session. Next. Okay, so now we go into January, and the January gathering is going to feature 2 fun presenters. Mark Norman will do his printing on fabric. Mark presented this to the division way back when we were still at the Legion Hall there, before we moved to the bar, before we moved to the 600 room there. So it's a really neat presentation. So I'll be glad to see that again. And Fred will be giving a talk on printing your own white decals, and I'm very interested in that because I could sure use a bunch of white decals. So tuck that away for the gathering next month, or I'm sorry, January the 8th. Next. Okay, and through a number of suggestions that we have Kathy Millett coming to the January 21st meeting, and she does all sorts of clinics and everything, but we've nailed her down to doing the modeling water, and that should be a very interesting presentation. So put that on your calendar for January 21st. Okay.
And I believe that completes your presentation. Anybody have any questions from Russ about things coming up? I don't see any here in the room, and I don't hear anything online. So thank you, Russ, as always. Now's the time for me to say a big thank you to many people. We had a good train show. Of course, with the snow, we were short about 25 attendees over the previous show, which was pretty good considering the bad weather conditions. Bob, did you have a question?
Here's how many people we had come through the door.
I don't have those figures right here in front of me.
399.
399. Yeah, we were 75 more at the spring show, which was nicer weather. I do want to thank a few people that are here in the room that helped unload the dealers that fateful morning. It was real nice when I got there at 5 a.m. But as we got closer to showtime, the weather got worser and worser. And the dealers, every dealer that was supposed to be showed up, which we're very thankful for. And big shout out to the dealers and also to our volunteers. Al is here in the room today that helped unload in those treacherous conditions, along with Gary Dean and his son Tyler Dean. And some of you may not know Alan Williams, not with us today unless he's online. Sometimes he's joins us online, came by and helped us under foul conditions and appreciated. And a special thank you as well to Ruthie and Laura Frank Crone, who pitched in to help, not even members, but were there helping us. Also, Teresa Berry, not Mike, and of course, is not here with us today, but also a big shout out to folks that are not even members that helped us with the show. So all in all, we felt that the show went well, got a lot of positive feedback, and thanks to everybody that helped out and attended. And guess what? Just around the corner, we've already started working on it about a month before last Saturday, getting media placed and getting it organized. So March 18th, if you read the information update this week, we're already soliciting help. We didn't get any volunteers yet, but we hope you'll sign up and help us out again. And it won't be long before the next show. And unless anybody has any questions, comments, Ross, everything okay on your end?
I think so.
Okay, meeting is adjourned, but
But wait, there's more.
wait, there's more
There's
here.
more. Let's swap here. Let's swap here. Let me sit down. All y'all know what's coming is back to basics for about 5 minutes here. Hey, Russ, how many people are online?
7, including myself.
7. Barbara, how many in the room?
21.
21, that's 28.
21.
28 total.
21 plus 7.
Okay, good. So cops, if you're ever in the military, you know about 3 hots and a cop. Has nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that at all. Consolidated stencils. You know what consolidated stencils are, right? I'll bet you don't know all the details. I'm sure I don't know all the details, but I did check with a couple of people who did work for the railroad at one time. So at least I know this part is correct, and that's good. So 5 minutes or so, back to basics. Loop plates. You guys have heard of loop plates. You've seen them on the side of railroad cars. Is it supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, or none? It depends upon the year, and that's kind of where we're going with this. So it's actually COT and S, because it stands for Clean Oil Test and Stencil. Originally, and you can see the graphic on there, originally it was on the side of the air reservoir. And Mike Berry and I had a little chat about that, and he said, we were so happy when we got rid of those and started putting them on the side of the cars. Because now I didn't have to clean them, get under the car, wipe it off, go, crap, that's not right, re-stencil it, and in horrible weather and so forth, gone. But originally, that's what it was. And basically, it's what it says. You clean the air system, you oil what you need to, you test it out, and you put a stencil on there saying, we did this on this date. And we're not going to go into details because you've only got 5 minutes, but there was a standardized process and standardized time that you had to, or you could wait at most, before you had to recheck and redo and so forth. So Rule 60 of the 1966 AAR interchange rules, originally air brake system only. That changed. Oh, and then, by the way, it became the in-date test and stencil. It used to be the clean oil test and stencil. Now it's the in-date test and stencil, the IDTS instead of COTS. This is sounding more and more like the military, Mr. Dawson. It is. So Rule 2 of the 1980 AAR changed that. So now, as I said a minute ago, 1 part, 2 part, 3 part, or more parts than that. Who knows? Well, actually, we do know. 72. AAR program for new or rebuilt cars, new or rebuilt. Supposed to do the air brake information only, a large single panel on the side of the car. So if you're modeling a brand new car in 1978, it probably ought to have, no, maybe not, but in 73, a brand new car probably ought to have a single panel on the right side. Check. Okay. What about 1971? Nope. What about 1972? Maybe, maybe not. It depends. Were they following the rules or not? When was it? Oh, you know how that goes. But anyway, but at that point, it only had the air brake information. 74, we get a change. 74 is when the FRA mandates all freight cars, whether they were rebuilt, whether they were new, whether they were ancient, starting at that point, we're supposed to be putting on 2-part stencils. One is lube, one is the old COTS and so forth. And I'll tell you where I got this screenshot is actually off a website called HOSAM. Okay. And if you're modeling, especially if you're modeling the 70s, 80s, 90s, it is a wealth of information for you. HOSAM. Okay. Just go Google HOSAM and go, wow, look at all the information out there. The person who started the website actually has passed away a number of years ago, but his buddies, before he passed away, agreed that they would maintain it as long as they were alive. So wonderful that they set that up. Nice continuity for us. So 74, 2-part stencil. And again, all the details are in there. 82, it changed. Oh, wait, 82, it changed twice. Don't you love it? So 82, now we've got COTS, repack, lube, the IDT we talked about before, subdivided into a 4-part panel. But in 82 later, it was reduced to a 3-part panel. My head hurts at that point. So when I go shopping for model railroad freight cars, since I'm modeling 1981, what am I making sure is not on the side of that thing? A 3-part or a 4-part. And sometimes I buy them anyway because I know that they were actually new in 81 or before. We just scrape that stuff off of there and put a new lube plate on there. Absolutely. New consolidated stencil. Do it all the time. Barry has done that as well, because he and I have talked about it. It's like, just scrape it off. Now, when I say scrape it off, I don't mean that I get my scraper out and do it. You know, we're probably using something else like Solvacet or something and getting it off there, but we get it off there. So here's the answer for you. That's the basic answer. Go to HOSAM, and there's a lot of other websites that have the information as well, but I found that is probably the best consolidated place to find out about consolidated stencils as any other place out there. 1-part, probably 72 to 74, 2-part, 74 to 82, 3-part, 82 to 2016, and none 2016 and later, because they said, we don't need that after all. Really? So all you modern guys, what should you have on the side of your cars? It depends on when the car was built and when it was last looked at. Absolutely. So if I'm modeling today in 2022, in theory, I could have probably a 3 or a 2 or even a 4-part. Yeah. Or even a 1 maybe. Or none. It's a great time to be modeling, isn't it? 81 though, I better not have any 3 parts or 4 parts out there. So if you come to my railroad right now and take a look at Santa Cruz and Felton, you'll find a couple because we're building it out and so forth, and we're focusing on ops more than doing that sort of thing. But we'll get there. All right. So bottom line, as I always tell you, and back to basics, go look at that specific piece of equipment and see what it had on it. And then you know what to really do if you really want to do that. And of course, there's our favorite one, the Yreka Western 25-142. It's always the exception to the rule. All the Yreka Western cars had a square 2-block, one on top of the other, except for 25-142 that doesn't have the ACI label. It doesn't have the yellow dot. It doesn't have this, that, and the other. Instead, it has a 2-block, but they're dashed because it was the exception to the rule. I'm so happy that I got that. So that wraps up my 5 minutes of back to basics. But wait, there's even more. So a few months ago in my Monday train video, I had a couple videos about chain link fences. I asked y'all for some suggestions, and there were some good suggestions in there. Most of them's like, yeah, I've seen those before, but that's really not what I'm looking for. I really want to, I agree with Pierre Oliver, but that the best chain link fencing in HO scale is at Alchem scale models with Bernie Kempinski. And you guys all know Bernie Kempinski. He's talked to us a couple times and so forth. Unfortunately, they were out of stock. And by the way, if you don't know Pierre Oliver and Yarmouth models, you need to find out about the guy. He is an awesome modeler. He's heavy into RPM. And if you've ever seen Trainmaster TV from Model Railroad Hobbyist, he was in several videos in the early seasons as well. So there you go. As luck would have it, Bernie was visiting the Pennsylvania Southern in Charleston, West Virginia when Tom Gunther, Eric Wagner, and I were there for an op session. That's Bernie on the left, on the left. That's right. And Bob, of course, on the right. Someone had to take the picture. And as usual, I wasn't in the picture. But so I talked to Bernie and he said, tell you what, they're back in stock. I'll send you some. So he has them on sale. A single pack is like $25. A 3-pack is $63. And I know I'm going to need it, at least that many. So I bought a 3-pack of those fences, and they are amazing, let me tell you. And then he put a note on it that said, Fred, here's an extra set to use as a door prize at your next Division 8 meeting. And you guys all thought that Barbara was joking when she said there's a door prize, didn't you? How many of you thought she was joking? Yeah, I know it. Okay, so and if you're interested in going to his website, there it is, alchemscalemodels.biz. The reason I asked Barbara how many people were in the room and I asked Russ how many people were online was I need to know how many people so that I could put it in my random number generator and punch the button that says generate, and the number is 19.
Kent Westfall.
Kent Westfall, where are you, Kent? Kent, yay! So you not only get this, you get Bernie's note. And I went online and printed out the directions for you too. They are awesome. They really are. They are not something, it'll take you a little bit to do those. They're cool. So, all right, now I'm done. Cool.
Congratulations, Ken. Thank you.
So now we go on a 5-minute break, right?
Yeah, take us away on the 5-minute break.
Hey, let's go into a 5-minute break.